The story of humanity begins with wet footprints on dawn sand. Along the shoreline, a small band moves at first light, following the shorebirds step by step. A new kind of life slowly takes root in the fertile mud of river valleys. With the first harvest comes surplus, and with surplus, the birth of cities, in the Fertile Crescent, along the Nile, and on the banks of the Yellow River. Grain feeds not just families, but specialists. And with stored grain comes the need for ledgers, for power, for an order that must grow beyond kin. To connect strangers, rules and roads are born. Rulers search for ways to make this new order last. In Babylon, the Code of Hammurabi is carved into stone, setting terms for all to see. In Persia, imperial roads pull distant towns into a single coherent network. And in a sun-drenched city by the sea, citizens argue policy in the open air. The answer to what holds a people together settles into law, habit, and the rituals of power. These tools of order spread, practical and measured, creating pathways for new ideas to travel. From Roman forums to frontier garrisons, from river granaries to mountain passes, authority becomes a practical matter of taxes, laws, and, at times, shared power. Roman law promises predictable justice for the citizen. Far to the east, the Qin and Han dynasties refine bureaucracy, using the census and merit to manage an empire. Paper and standard weights preserve messages, turning fleeting words into lasting records. And into this growing network of ordered states, new teachings enter. Hinduism arrives, linking duty with desire and release. Buddhism maps the terrain of suffering and compassion. Confucian thought shapes the foundation of families, schools, and government. In temple courtyards, ethics are taught as daily ritual, defining dignity and creating bonds of belief that caravans and ships will carry to the corners of the known world. From the Near East, three faiths emerge that will reshape the globe. Judaism insists on covenant and memory. Christianity centers on grace and community. Islam binds law, prayer, and charity into one seamless whole. You can still feel their influence in classrooms, courtrooms, and city halls today, guiding our calendars, our contracts, and the stories we tell about who we are. Along the Silk Roads, spices and ideas change hands daily. Across the Sahara, gold is traded for salt and faith. Writing, coinage, and the compass make the world feel smaller, more connected. Empires fall, caliphates rise, and stepriders link continents, setting the stage for a new era of exchange. In a cramped Venetian workshop, a small hand steadies metal letters in the dawnlight. The press groans and paper kisses ink. A fresh page filled with knowledge cools on the rack. From this 16th century world, printing in common languages spreads like wildfire. Lenses map the heavens, and authority begins to move from the palace to the street. These pages cross oceans, carrying not just ideas, but seeds, faiths, and germs. Plantation fortunes swell on the backs of the enslaved, igniting the very revolts that will claim new constitutions and give voice to the people. Nations are imagined, borders are drawn, and coal-fed engines spin thread while railways seem to shrink time itself. Change accelerates, empire expands, and is met with fierce resistance. World wars redraw the maps, and the United Nations offers a place for nations to quarrel without annihilation. After the bomb, a long Cold War fixes the world in a tense balance, even as undersea cables and the first whispers of the Internet begin to connect it. Today, we inherit the tools of every age that came before and invent our own. Genome editing in laboratories, artificial intelligence in government, digital communities that bind the scattered across the globe. It all matters because each treaty and every technological leap still asks the same ancient questions. Who decides? Who benefits? Who belongs? On a warming, crowded, and deeply networked planet, the answers we choose will create the next chapter of our shared story.